I have to time myself because I was supposed to write something, but I didn't. But Detroit, born and raised. My dad, a jazz musician. Very proud of him. First black man doing, Air Force band and all the rest of that good stuff. And then he turned out to be self-employed and had 3 children. And then I came at the end as the new child because it was 10, 12 years difference between me and my sisters and brothers. So I was the baby, plus I was the adult. I was like the older brother. So what I did is that I took me being the older brother and I kind of like brought it into my own little world with everybody else involved. And so I decided, what the heck, I'm 15, I'm gonna leave the house, live with the girl, and be an adult, right? So here I am, Cass Corridor. I don't know if anybody, Cass Corridor, whoop whoop, right? I know. I lived it. And so for, I don't know, a brief second, I thought I was an adult, but, then you get kicked out. And I didn't have the money because I was 15, so ended up living back at her house, which was ridiculous. 15, wanting to do what you got to do, right? So we move a little bit ahead from there. There's many, many stories in my life. That's the funny part, because to choose one would be just too, you couldn't. So I'm trying to cover as many as I can within this little 7 minutes. So if you need to know more, read the book, right? It'll come out next year. Yeah. Shades, the sap. But anyways, what it would do, what happened was is that I ended up just growing up really fast. Hookers, prostitutes, hanging out, selling dope. I watched the tree grow. We called it the nigger tree. Excuse me if I offend anybody, but I stood underneath this tree for 5 years and watched it grow and sold dope every day. It was probably the most fun I ever had. It was, no responsibility. Get up. I used to ask for soft change, which is the change that you can give me that doesn't hurt you. Say, soft change, get it. And then by the end of that morning, I would be from 9 o'clock to 10, I would probably have enough money to get a drink and stand on my corner every day and monitor that tree. Spent a lot of time in jail. They loved me in jail. They loved me so much till I would go to jail Friday, and I would wait all weekend, and they would let me out on Monday, and then I would get caught on Wednesday, and then the guys would be like, well, we ain't got to fingerprint him because he ain't went no fucking where, They're like, we know where he's been, he's on that freaking corner. Yeah, so, but in between that, I decided I wanted to be an artist too, because everybody in my family was artists. My sister, she played violin. My brother, he was the real technical artist dude, and I wanted immediacy, so I chose graffiti art, which was quick, it was easy, and it was thuggish, So I just wanted to, I like that underground, to be like, you don't see me. Look at that mural, woo. So that worked, that worked really good. Because in between that, I just, it was really, I didn't understand that I was making a history mark. As I was being, the drunk, the derelict of dialect, that guy, hey, that guy. I was actually making a point and becoming one of the first graph artists in the city of Detroit. And that was, I just recently found that out, so. What happened was is that, I painted and hung out, and I did it all. Things happened, and I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I used to like to wear dark clothes, drink, because you could, like, if you passed out somewhere, you can clean it, real quick. You know. So one day I woke up in some females, my usual, because I never had a key to a door, so I had to find some female. Yo, baby, what you got? Got a place to stay? Yeah, sweet. So here I am. And so I remember I passed out in this girl's house downtown Detroit. It was in a loft. And that would have sounded really great to anybody that was like, passed out in a loft? Dang. Nah. I actually woke up and I had this thing against hair, like cat hair, dog hair, hamster hair, rabbit hair, your hair, So I woke up and it was a nice bliss morning, Is that a word, bliss? No. Is it? Yeah. Sweet. My peoples. So I woke up, and I had all this cat hair, head to toe, and it was white cat hair. And I was like, this is not good. And so I hightailed it to Ann Arbor with a friend that said, you need to get your act together. So I went out there crying. I don't know why, but I was crying. I'm like, I can't leave my peoples, these folks. I stayed out there, and I ended up getting sober. Drinking 20 years, you end up getting sober, Something weird happens when you turn 30. People don't actually look at you like the kid anymore and going, he's just drunk. Now they look at you when you're 30, and they're like, he knows better, and if he don't know, he never will. So I had to get something done. I went out there, got a job as a garbage man, sobered up. That was a lot of fun. I like throwing garbage. I did. It was so clean. It was amazing. I had the sweetest gear being a garbage man, by the way. I was pretty dapped out, Carhartt, the whole nine. Man, I could live that. That was, whoo, Patagonia, zip up, shablam, little gloves. Yeah, that was that's how I rolled. I love that. That was my life. But, but I ended up living that and understanding things, but I always had the art in the background somewhere. And that always paid off because this phone call came randomly from the DIA. Never had a phone, never knew anybody that knew my number, but the DIA found it. And as God would have it, there was a young lady on the other end, Taryn. She spoke to me and she was like, hey, Shades. I'm like, I haven't heard that name in 4 years. What's up? And she's like, we need you to do this show, Blase Splee. And I'm like, can I call you back? Because I went blank, You're talking to a garbage man, baby, hey. DIA, I want my little white picket fence in my truck, So that happened, and you know what? I did the show. I went on vacation off of my garbage job and did the show. 4 3-foot by 6-foot canvases, huge art collectors. Bottom line, archived, given back. People, yay! Diego Rivera Court. Woof, woof. You're like, what the? I don't know. Went back to work. They asked me what I did on my vacation. Yeah, sold some DIA stuff. What's my route? And that went really well until I got fired. Fired and then hired into the art world. I left Ann Arbor. I found a really good girl when I was in Ann Arbor. But then I failed with that too because I wasn't ready yet. She was really sweet. She knew me. She knew me who I was. And that's the one that gets away. Is the one that gets there. I found myself though. Went down to Detroit and started doing my art. It's really weird though. I still was learning. Detroit has a lot to give, especially when you're raised and born there. I'm really fortunate, very blessed.